Hi everybody. Today we're going to move through a quick beginner-friendly sequence that's going to help you strengthen your core and build flexibility at the same time. It's fairly short and even the newest of yogis should be able to handle it. So it might help before we begin to have something that's shaped like a block, a book, even a water bottle that you could put your hand on. And you might also want to have a strap or a kitchen towel or a sock or anything that you might be able to grab later on. Okay, so we're going to start by building some heat in the core. So come on up to a tall push-up, also known as a plank pose. So starting in your plank, hands shoulder distance apart, your body is strong and solid like a plank of wood. Drive your heels back, send your heart forward. Really engage your quads and then lift the backs of your legs, hugging everything to the midline of your body. Really press the mat away here. Inhale. Let's do one push-up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. From here, bring your toes and heels together at the back of the mat. Place your right hand under your face. Swing your heels to the right and take your left arm to the sky. This is your side plank vinyasas, and it's great for really strengthening your obliques. Zip up your inner thighs. Keep lifting your hips. If you want, you can bring your left arm long at a diagonal up and over your head, but keep pressing the mat away with your strong right arm. Last breath. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand to the mat, second side. Roll over your toes, swinging your heels to the left. Take your right arm up and just do the same thing you did on the first side. So maybe you're going to bring your right arm long at a diagonal. Keep lifting your hips. Focus on your breath. That's always your priority here. Last breath. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand to the mat. So you're back in your high plank. Inhale here. And now for down dog, press your hips in the air to make an upside down V shape. In this pose, your feet are hip distance apart. The sides of the feet are parallel to the sides of the mat, like a number 11. And your hands are about shoulder distance apart as well, with lots of space between every finger. Let your neck relax as you look between your toes. Know that it's fine if your knees are bent or your heels are far off the mat. This pose is great for stretching your calves, for stretching your hamstrings, and for building some upper body strength. Stay with it here, one more breath. And now look at your feet. Walk your hands to your feet at the back of the mat and bend your knees a little. Grab your elbows and sway right and left. Nice and loose like a rag doll as you bend one knee and bend the other. Shake your head out, noticing if your jaw is tight. And then come back to center, release your arms. Bring your toes and heels to touch. Bend your knees so much you can press your chest into your thighs. Reach back, interlace hands above your tailbone, dropping your fists up and over your head. Now feel free to keep your knees really bent. If you're wanting more of a stretch in your hamstrings, you can start to lift your hips here, but no pressure. Tucking your face beneath your knees, stay here for 3. Carefully release your arms, look forward, walk it back out for your downward facing dog, Badakanasana. And now from your dog, inhale forward for a high plank. This time we're going to come down to a forearm plank. So lower to your forearms and elbows. Remember, you can always lower your knees at any point if you need to back off. Again, engage your quads, lifting the backs of your legs to the ceiling. Send your heart forward as you drive your heels back. And now bring your toes and heels to touch. Swing your heels to the right. Take your left arm up. Here is your side plank on your forearm, Forearm Plank. You can also bring your left hand to your hip, lifting your hips, Zipping your inner thighs. Reach up, inhale. And then exhale, left forearm to the mat, second side, roll over your toes. Swing your heels to the left. You can reach your right arm to the sky, or maybe bring your right hand to your right hip, elbow pointing up. Press into the entire length of your left forearm and keep breathing. From here, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, bring your forearm back to the mat, straighten your arms, press up high plank and breathe. Be cool here, inhale. Down dog, open your mouth. Take a big exhale here. And now to turn down dog into dolphin pose. Lower down to your forearms and elbows. Keep your butt high in the sky. Fingers can be laced, or your palms can stay down like they were in down dog. This is another great pose for stretching your calves and for building upper body strength. Stay with it. Bend your knees a little if you need to. Just taking it breath by breath. Meeting whatever you might feel here with curiosity rather than judgment. Last breath. From here, straighten your arms, coming into downward facing dog again. Just notice what you feel. One more breath. And now for child's pose, bring your knees to the mat, press your hips to your heels, toes untucked, rest. 3 breaths. Coming back up to downward facing dog. And then for a little more core work, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump through to your seat for Navasana, your boat pose. So if you're starting, you might want to just hold behind your knees. From there, the next step might be to bring your arms alongside your calves. Eyes up, face chill, breathing steadily. From here, bring your palms to prayer at your heart. And as you inhale, lean back and take your arms to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale center. Inhale right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. One more round. Inhale right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. Stay here. Breathe. Just notice what you feel. And now place your hands behind you. Fingers pointed to your hips. Place your feet about hip distance. Inhale. And then exhale. Lift your belly and your hips to the sky for your reverse tabletop pose. If your neck is healthy, you can look to the wall behind you, spreading your toes wide, opening the front body as you strengthen the back body. Last breath. Softly exhale, lower your hips. Let's come to downward facing dog. So plant your hands, step your feet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From down dog, step your right foot forward between your hands and lower your back knee, untucking your back toes. Bring your hands to your right thigh, and you might want to stop right there. This is your low lunge. If you'd like, you can reach both arms to the sky, keeping your shoulders soft. Taking care not to put too much weight on that back knee. Last breath. Great. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Right away, second side, step the left foot forward, lower the right knee, untuck the right toes, and there's your second side, low lunge. Hands on your left thigh, or reach your arms to the sky, breathing here. Shoulders relaxed for 3. Final breath, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. From down dog, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop, feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, look forward as you lengthen, and then exhale to deepen your fold. Step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Keep the left hand on the mat, or maybe bring it to a block. From there, inhale, take your right arm up. Simple twist. Breathing here for 3. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward between your hands. Keep your right hand down or place it on a block. Inhale, take the left arm to the sky, simple twist. Second side, breathing here for 3. Always breathing in and out through your nose to help calm your nervous system. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, left hand to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. From down dog, bend your knees, look forward and step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, look forward to lengthen, and then exhale, deepen your fold. Pressing all the way to standing here, inhale, reach to the sky, and then exhale, bring your palms to prayer. Okay, from here, hands to your hips, and just step your left foot to the back of the mat. This is your lunge. You want the back heel to be up, so you can see that mine is spun up. Both hips rotate forward, gazing straight ahead. Reach back, interlace fingers behind you to find a lift in your heart. Keeping your eyes up, keeping your face calm. And now inhale, reach your arms to the sky, and then exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, high lunge, second side. Maybe starting just with your hands in your hips. And then from here, reach back, interlace hands behind you, and noticing if you're putting the same thumb on top, and switching it up. Make sure the back heel stays up. Now looking straight ahead. Face relaxed, breathing steadily. And now inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, palms to prayer, hands to your hips. Let's step to the top of the mat, mountain pose. From here, step to the side, so you're in a nice wide-legged position. Bring your toes narrow and your heels wide, so you're what we call pigeon-toed. From there, take your arms wide, reach back. Interlacing hands behind you, inhale to lift, and then exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees if you need to, if your hamstrings feel vulnerable here. The best way to protect them is to really engage your quads, the big muscles above your knees. And then roll your weight slightly forward. And notice if your stretch changes. Moving slowly, inhale, come all the way up. Float your arms wide at the top. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. From here, inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, fold forward. And this time, place your hands on the mat under your face. You can also put your hands on a block. Inhale, look forward to lengthen, and then exhale, deepen your fold. Growing tall through the crown of your head. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Remembering it's always okay to take that little micro bend of your knees if it's going to protect your low back especially. Lift your head, and now from here, turn your toes out and your heels in. Bending your left knee, coming down for Skandasana, what I think of as a runner's stretch. So you're flexing your right toes to the sky. Your right knee wants to be pointing directly to the sky as well. And you might be able to use your left elbow to guide your left knee very slightly open. And if you don't go as far as I am today, no problem. Remember that we all have totally different bodies. Maybe if you're a long-time runner or football player, you have really tight hamstrings and strong quads. That's okay. The point of yoga is not to do the splits tomorrow. It's to meet ourselves where we are with gentleness and compassion and to not take ourselves too seriously. So for the second side, walk your hands to the right, bending the right knee, flex the left toes to the sky, left knee up as well. Maybe on the side, the right elbow will help to guide the right knee open, keeping your heart lifted. When we breathe through the mouth, it stimulates that fight or flight response. So in other words, it kind of makes us freak out. It makes us feel like there's something to be concerned about. But when you seal your lips and breathe in and out through the nose, it sends a message to your body that everything's okay, that your nervous system can relax. From here, come back to center, and then walk your feet a little closer. Turn your toes out wide and your heels in narrow for your deep yogi squat. Now, this is another pose that you might find is tough. In that case, you might want to grab a block and sit on a block to take some pressure off. You might also want to roll up a towel or a blanket or even your mat to pad your heels, especially if they're not touching the ground. Some people's bodies just are not built the same as others, and that means that your heels might never touch the ground, and that's okay. Really spread your toes wide, and think of this as your meditation pose. You're just noticing what you feel while you're here, meeting it with curiosity rather than judgment, and remembering that every feeling, whether it's joyful or miserable, will always pass. Last breath. All right, cool. From here, look down, hands on the mat, lift your hips. Let's come back to downward facing dog and give your legs a chance to kind of move around. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other. All that fresh circulation moves throughout your legs. And now from down dog, look forward, come down to your knees and walk your knees to the top of the mat so you're seated on your heels. If this feels okay in your body, great. If this is already asking too much of your legs, grab your blocks or a pillow and sit on as many blocks as you need to make this safe for you today. From here, hands on your thighs. You're looking straight ahead. And if your knees are healthy and you want a slightly deeper variation, lift your butt, separate your feet, and place your hips on the ground between your heels. This is hero pose, vinyasana. So you're looking straight ahead. Such an essential pose for anyone who's a soccer player, a runner, bringing the full range of motion back to your lower body. Two more breaths here. Cool. All right, look down. Hands on the mat. Again, step it back. Downward facing dog. From here, bend your knees, look forward, walk through to your seat, and bring the soles of your feet together so your knees fall open. I'll turn so you can see me. Your thumbs are in your arches. Inhale to lift, and then exhale, fold forward. This is Badakanasana. And again here, you can use your elbows to help guide your knees open. This is a great pose for any time you're feeling anxious, having a hard time slowing your body or your breath or your mind. Take a seat If you can keep your back fairly flat, you can also start to walk your hands forward. Breathing here for 3. Lifting your head, inhale, come all the way up. Hands outside your thighs, guide your knees together, and then roll onto your back. Keeping your feet hip distance, middle fingers barely touch your heels as you exhale, and then inhale to lift your hips. This is bridge pose. And if you want, you can grab a block and slide it under your low back. Squeezing your inner thighs. Spreading your toes wide. Breathe here for 3. And now softly lower your hips. Pick up your right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh so your knee falls open. Reach your right hand between your legs, lacing fingers either on top of the left shin or behind the left hamstring. Flex your feet, inhale, and then exhale, draw your left knee into your chest. Pressing your belly button and your low back down into the floor. Notice if your face is getting tight. And then relax it, softening. Carefully release that foot, switch it up. Right foot down, left ankle on top of the right thigh. Take your left hand between your legs, lacing fingers on top of the shin. Feel free to lace fingers behind your hamstring instead. Flexing your feet to protect your knees. Press your belly button down into the floor. Second side, reclining double pigeon. Last 3. Softly lower, release. From here, hug your knees into your chest. Tuck your fingers between your knees and your thighs and let's rock and roll a little bit forward and back. Feels kind of good, right? Massaging your spine, building some heat. We're going to get ready to rock up into a high plank pose in 3, 2, rock on up over your feet. Plant your hands, step your feet back. Take 2 push-ups. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Stay here. Notice what you feel. Hugging your belly to your spine. Drive your heels back. Heart sends forward. And then down dog. Open your mouth. Take a big exhale here. Cool. From here, bend your knees. Look forward. Step or jump through to your seat. Extending your legs out long. Now you might want to have a strap nearby. From here, hug your right knee into your chest, left knee in, let it fall open. It doesn't really matter which side you do first. You might want to grab your strap to use it to hook your foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to lengthen your spine, and then keep that length as you exhale, deepen your fold. If you don't need the strap today, you can always just grab your foot instead. Remembering that it's always okay to take a little bend in the knee here. This pose in Sanskrit translates to head to knee pose, but you really don't need your head to go anywhere near your leg. Instead, think about keeping a tall spine and growing your forehead past your big toes. So you're maintaining that nice length and a lift in your collarbone. Last breath. Lift your head, arms reach forward, bring it all the way up as you inhale. Exhale, palms to prayer, release. Second side, left knee in, send it long. Right knee in, let it fall open. Maybe grab your strap here, inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to lengthen, and then exhale, deepen your fold. Here too, feeling free to just grab the foot instead. Jani Shirshasana. Breathing here for 5. Last breath. Lift your head, arms reach forward, come all the way up. Inhale, exhale, palms through prayer, and then release. Bringing the right knee in, extend it long. Shake your legs out a little bit. Maybe wiggle your hips back once or twice because we're trying to find a slight forward tilt of the pelvis here. You may want to have your strap handy. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to lengthen, and then exhale, deepen your fold. Paschimottanasana, this is your deepest forward fold of the practice. If you're not using a strap, you might want to grab your big toes or grab the outsides of your heels. Remembering it's always okay to bend your knees. For most of us, this can be intense. So if you're in that club, know you're not alone, and just notice what you're feeling. And see if you can use the breath to help surf the waves of those sensations, even if they might be really intense. Practice speaking kindly to yourself in this pose so that instead of beating yourself up and wishing you had bendier hamstrings, you can just meet yourself where you are. Maybe even offering some gratitude to your body for showing up for you the way it does every single day of your life. Last breath. Lift your head, arms reach forward, coming all the way up. Inhale, exhale, palms through prayer, and then release. From here, roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a little lift of the hips, inhale, and then exhale, drop both knees to your left as you look over your right shoulder. Your left hand can land on top of the right thigh. And if you want to lace your legs like in eagle pose here, you're always welcome to do that. Breathing here for 3. Inhale, knees and chin to center. Take a little lift. Exhale, drop your knees to the right and look over your left. Slowing things down here. Remembering that the closer you hug your knees into your armpit, the better the release you'll find in your low back. Last 2. And now inhale, bring your knees to center for happy baby. Bring your fingers to your arches. Stacking your heels maybe over your knees. Rock your baby right and left if you want. Sometimes when we do this pose with kids, we call it dead bug pose. So whatever works for you today. This is a great pose for releasing low back pain. Now come to stillness here in the center. Take a big inhalation. Open your mouth. Exhale. And now hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock on up to your seat. And you did it. That's it. Hopefully your body feels a little stronger and a little softer than when we started. So practice this as much as you can and you'll find a difference both in your core strength and your flexibility. And if there's anything I can help with, if you have any questions, always know you can reach out. Thanks everybody.